Well, good morning. I see we have our attendees coming in, and we're certainly all ready. So welcome today from the Westchester Senior Law Day Collaborative. You've joined today to hear about online banking savvy for seniors, techniques for safe and efficient banking. My name is Elena Falcone. I am the Director of Public Innovation and Engagement at the Westchester Library System. So that means I do a whole lot of outreach programming. I am also a co-chair of the Senior Law Day Collaborative. I'd say a proud co-chair of the collaborative because I'm particularly proud of the work that we've been doing. I share the role of co-chair with Sarah Steckler of Keen and Bean and Melinda Bellis of Legal Services of Hudson Valley. And we are supported in this work by the wonderful Bruce Siegel of Marketing Sense. So we're here today because this is what the Senior Law Day Collaborative does. We have more than 150 professionals who are part of the collaborative: attorneys, financial planners, geriatric care managers, long-term care insurance people. They all come together to make authoritative information available to our county seniors. And to that end, we do a number of webinars, and in other days, we hope to get back to doing a number of significant events in the county where you can come and listen to our workshops and get one-to-one consultations. We also have a website. That website is called seniorlawday.info, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for a second to show you that site just for a sec. The website for the Senior Law Day Collaborative, seniorlawday.info, is the place that you can go to find out about what we're up to and what's available to you. On this site, you'll see that we have a full page of 2020 webinars. We've been doing almost a webinar a week, it seems, since the beginning of April, the end of March. So you can go there and get all of the recordings of those past webinars. And I'm hoping that you come to some other ones, or will find here that there are topics that are relevant to you. I'm pretty confident that you'll find topics of relevance. On the homepage, one of the things I want to point out is that we have details on our upcoming webinars. So you would have registered here for today's program, but if you expand this link, you can see opportunities to connect to a lot of the future programs. Also, at the very top, I'm super excited about this, and I hope you are too. You have the opportunity to have a virtual Senior Law Day experience. So we normally provide one-to-one consultations with individuals. And on September 24th, let me make sure I got the date right, on Thursday, between the hours of 10 and 12, we're also going to be offering those free consultations. It's the same day registration. So you would come on that morning at 9 a.m. to this website. There's also a phone number you can call, but you come and you have to fill out a brief form, and we'll get you slotted in there to have a consultation that morning with an attorney, with a financial planner, with a geriatric care manager, with someone who could answer your questions about Medicare, with someone who could evaluate your long-term care insurance policy. So that's September 24th, mark your calendars. But let's say you're not available September 24th. You also can just come to this website at any time and ask us a question. So one is kind of a more free-form 15-20-minute consultation. If you have a specific question, we can answer your question. You just have to connect it here. So let me stop sharing my screen. And with Matt, and there's other resources on the website that I probably could have gone on far longer to discuss. But right now I want to get us onto our program. Before I get there, today, this whole event is being recorded. It's going to be posted to our website on seniorlawday.info. You were all muted, but what I'm hoping is that you realize, if you are participating on Zoom, that there is a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. You are welcomed to put questions into the Q&A. And someone actually just used the Q&A to ask me to put the URL into the website. Believe me, I'm going to send you off with a whole mess of web addresses. All right, today we're here to talk about online banking savvy for seniors, techniques for safe and efficient banking. Our presenter is the lovely Anthony Terranera from TD Bank. He is, I'm just so excited that we actually have TD Bank doing this, because I really do like the consumer financial education information that they make available. I think it's very clean and clear and accessible. And as we go into this, keep in mind, all banks do provide consumer financial education. If you are banking with TD Bank, then you're going to have an in-depth tour. If you bank with Chase or Citibank or Wells Fargo or HSBC, whatever, make sure that you've checked what they offer to know how to navigate their resources, and look for ones that are really giving you good, solid consumer advice, which is what I think TD Bank is doing here. So with that, Anthony, let me turn it over to you.
Hi, thank you, Elena. Good morning, everyone. Like Elena said, my name is Anthony Terranera. I am a financial services associate here at TD Bank at our Elmsford location. And today I've been invited to talk about online banking and living in the world we're living in right now with, COVID-19 and everything. It's a really good idea to maybe want to explore online banking, because not everyone's comfortable with leaving their home right now, going into a bank and this and that. But with online banking, there's so many things you can do that you don't need to step into the branch anymore. For example, you could deposit your check right from your phone, and I'm going to get into that and how to do that. You can look at statements, you can check your account activity, balances. I mean, there's a lot you can do.
Anthony, you mentioned a key thing. We actually wanted this program in part to happen because we knew that so many older adults were concerned about navigating the whole branch experience right now. And I see you have your mask, so you're ready for that. But it's really important that folks know that they have alternatives. I mean, particularly when it gets cold, right? And we can't, between pandemics and winter and everything else, you can simply do all of your banking remotely. So we want you all to know how.
This is what we call the TD Digital Academy. And this is actually available to everybody if they want to go ahead after our webinar today, if they want to go on the things that we are not going to be able to cover today. There's a lot of material on here. We'll provide the address for everybody once we're through here. So there's two ways you can access online banking. You can do it through the mobile app, the TD Bank app, on a smartphone or a tablet. And then you have your regular online banking via desktop computer on our website. So today we are going to focus on online banking through the website. So we're going to start how to enroll, because we have to enroll first before we can actually take advantage of all the benefits we have. So you're going to simply go to our website, tdbank.com. This is our home page. You're going to see a sign up button right over here. So we're going to go ahead and click that. And it's going to tell you right here what exactly you're going to need in order to enroll in the online banking. So you'll need your social security number, your TD Bank ATM debit card or credit card, whichever we're enrolling, your email address, and your TD Bank account number. So it'll ask you if you want to enroll your personal account, your small business account, or both personal and small business. So once we decide that, we're going to do it in a personal account, we're going to confirm, and we're going to continue. So right here are some disclosures that you have to review and accept. All right, so let's say we're accepting that. And right here is where we would enter our personal information. So we're going to do our first name, our last name, our email address, followed by the account type. So if it's a checking account, a savings account, we're going to enter that. You're going to enter your ATM or debit card number, whichever one you have.
Anthony, can I pause you a second? The screen that you're showing makes a point of saying it's not secure. So I just want to point out, because I know you guys who are listening are all savvy about this. This is an educational site, so it's just saying academy.td. You're not actually on this screen adding any personally identifying information. But when you do this at the banking site, what are they going to see, Anthony?
Secure.
Right.
So one thing to know for sure if you're at the website you're on is secure. At the very beginning of the website address, it always starts with http://. So when it's secure, it's going to say HTTPS, S as in secure. So we always want to look for that. If we don't see an S, it's not a secure site. So being, like Elena said, this is a, informational website. It's not our actual TD Bank website where we do our banking. So it's not secure because it's just information purposes. So now where were we? All right, so we enter the account type, debit card number, account number, social security number. The next part, this is where we're going to create your username and your password. So the username, it says, has to be 8 to 25 characters, starting with a letter. The password has to be between 8 and 32 characters. I don't know too many people who use 32 characters for a password. I certainly don't, but a lot of people do. They want that extra security. Go right ahead. If you can remember it, by all means. So some of the things that they want for the password, you want to have to make it strong. You want at least one uppercase letter, one lowercase letter, number, and a symbol of some kind, maybe an ampersand or an asterisk, or even an underscore, something to make it secure, something that you can remember easily, but other people, it's very hard for them to figure out. All right, so it's going to ask you to enter the username and the new password 2 times. So again, it's going to tell you here, like I said, 8 to 32 characters, at least one letter and at least one number. That's what it must have. But to make it stronger, like I said, use lowercase, uppercase, special characters, a number. That will only make your password more strong. And then we go ahead and continue to submit that information. So now this is where the security setup comes in. And this is really important. This is how we secure your logins to make sure it is actually you that's logging into our website. So we're going to get started with that. Again, we're going to accept the disclosure, terms and conditions for the out-of-band authentication. Okay. So now here you're going to set up your phone number. Typically, we would want the mobile number because that's what typically the phone you're going to have at you at all times, because sometimes you might not be home and maybe you're logging in from somewhere else. You're not going to have your house phone, because this is how we actually verify your identity. So you would enter your phone number here, and you have the option of them either texting you a code, or you can actually have the phone they can call you, and an answering machine will tell you what the code is. So we're going to do that. You can request that they send you a code every time you log in, or not. It depends how secure you want it. And then we're going to say if we want it, call me or text me. So once that happens, they're going to text you that code. You're going to enter that code right here, and then we're going to confirm. And that's how we've identified you. So you can add up to 3 additional phones as well if you want that, if extra security. If you have another phone, maybe one phone's not working, but you happen to have another, you can have it as a backup. Or you could just skip the step. So the email settings, just confirming that this is your email. It's going to block out most of the email, but enough for that you could tell that it is your email, and then you can go ahead and update it.
Anthony, we got a question. I don't want to slow you down because you have a lot to cover. So I know we're going to have to speed through the rest of these. But someone asked, when you put in your account, why do you have to indicate your account type when you're setting this up? Doesn't your account number tell you that? And I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
No. So the account number, a checking and savings account, the number formatting is different. So sometimes our accounts are used, typically our checking accounts will start with like a 4-3, as opposed to the savings might start with a 6-7 or a 7-2. And it could also be led by zeros.
But my account number may have something different. My account
so
is one thing, and those are branching off of it.
Yeah, so we have to distinguish if it's a checking or a savings, so the system knows. Because even like when we're here in the branch, if someone wants to deposit something in their account, we have to click the option on our computers, checking deposit or savings deposit. That's why we have a checking deposit slip and a savings deposit slip, because it's different. It's two different types of accounts.
All right. Thanks, Henry. Thanks to Harry for his question. Okay, keep going.
Okay, so we've set up our security. Now we're ready to go to our home page, online banking. So we've set up online banking. So let's go back home. Now that we're set up for online banking, now we have to log in to online banking. So let's do the login part. I'll do that pretty quickly because it's pretty straightforward. So this is our home page. You're going to click your online banking right here, followed by your username and password, which we just created, and we're going to log in. Now, the part that we created about the security code, it didn't ask me for a security code for this login because it knows that this is your computer. You've already verified it. If you went on another computer, maybe you went to the library and decided to use their computer, it's going to ask you to send the security code, and it's going to go ahead and text it to you or call you with the code, and you will have to enter that code to verify your identity, and then it will let you in. Without that code, you cannot get in. So here we are at the home page where you can manage your accounts, make transfers, bill pay, all of that. And this is the breakdown of your accounts, your checkings, your deposit accounts or checking, savings, whichever you have, any loans you have with us, credit cards. It gives you, and your balances. It just breaks everything down. You know, I know we get a lot of customers that call in almost on a daily basis just to ask their balance. You know, I know sometimes we're not available to answer the phone if we have customers. You know, so they'll keep calling and calling to get a balance, but it's just simple as just logging right in and it's right there for you to view. All right. So there are other did you want me to go over the forgetting your username or password?
I think you actually have some pretty self-explanatory ones there. We wanted to go into the nitty-gritty.
Okay. All right. So let's get started.
Paying bills, that kind of thing.
Paying bills. So managing our money. So what I did talk about briefly earlier was depositing checks remotely. This is a big one. So this is something you will have to do on our mobile app. It won't work on the regular website because it does require your camera. So this is our mobile app. And the mobile app is very user-friendly too. It's actually pretty straightforward. It's more structured that you can navigate quickly. So right here is the homepage for the mobile app. We would click deposit. So we have to enroll in the service first. So we would enroll. This is the addendum and banking service agreement. We would accept it. Oh, let's review it and accept. Now, this is the mobile. So we would click simply deposit a check. And it's giving you some tips on the mobile deposit. Make sure there's adequate lighting. And if you have a light colored check, you want to make a dark surface so the contrast is there. And now let's do this. So first, you're going to select which account you want to deposit it to. Checking, savings, whichever. The deposit amount. You're going to input the amount of the check. And we'll see that right there. So now you're going to photograph the check. You're going to tap this button. This is to take a picture of your front of your check. So once we click that, it's actually going to give you a guideline of like an image of a check, and you're going to line up your check inside the image that they give you to match it up. And then once it's lined up, it will automatically take the picture for you. So you don't actually have to take it. So once it's there, you have the picture right there, the first side, and now we're going to do the back side. Same thing. It's going to give you the guideline of where to put the check. Once it's in focus, it's going to go right ahead and snap that picture automatically. Once you have front and back, you go ahead and continue.
Hey, wait a second. It didn't tell me to endorse it.
Oh, well, yes. Of course, we have to endorse our checks like we normally do at the teller, like we do at the teller line. We endorse it. Either you can sign your name or you can simply put for deposit only. That works just fine too.
Okay.
So now it'll tell you right here, your process is processing, and then it'll tell you your deposit was successful. So I always tell the customers to hold on to the check for about 2 weeks until it's been confirmed in the account and it's posted. Once it's in the account, you can actually go ahead and destroy the check. Rip it up to pieces and destroy it. Okay, report and reminders about mobile deposit. So write deposited and today's date on the front of your check, file it in a secure place, and destroy the check after 14 days, like I said. All right, so that's mobile deposit. Now, let's talk about paying bills.
Does it really take 14 days?
No. It's the same check clearing policy as we have in the bank. Its funds are typically available in 1 business day. We clear $100 immediately from the deposit, and then the rest is available the following business day. So now let's do bill pay. online. Okay, payments and transfers. So now I get a lot of people are starting to use Zelle now. Maybe some people are familiar, some people aren't. So Zelle is a money sending service where you can send money to your friends or family or request money from them, and they can send it to you almost instantly. So let's say, you guys went out to dinner and somebody put the money on their card and everyone's going to pay them back, split the bill. You can send the money you owe from your Zelle right from there, and they'll get it instantly transferred into their bank account. So let's look at that.
And that works faster than writing somebody a check.
It does. It works, like I said, instantaneously. So we're online. We're going to log in. Here we are on our home page. We're going to click the button at the top that says transfers. And there's an option right here that says send money with Zelle. And you'll need in order to enroll with Zelle, you'll need a TD Bank personal checking or money market account and your email address with a US mobile phone number. Now, Zelle is offered with basically almost all the big banks, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, they all offer Zelle. Citibank. So we can go right here and start the enrollment.
Before you start enrollment, Anthony, I'm sorry, I just saw these just popped up about what you were just talking about before. If you put for deposit only on the check, I know in my banks, they make me write for mobile deposit only.
Either one.
Okay.
Either one.
You have to also indicate which account number. I think you've indicated the account number when you select, when you put an amount, you pick what account number for the.
Yeah, you're selecting the account from the menu before you're even taking the picture of the check. It's like the first thing they ask you, which account do you want to put it in? So you don't have to indicate on the check the account number. If you want to, that's up to you, but it's not required.
Terrific. And also, you said this to us the other day, that the reason you started with the online banking is because you have to set yourself up online banking on the computer first. You probably could do it on a phone, but it's really, you have to go to the computer to sort of see how all this stuff is laid out. And frankly, to read the terms and conditions, because you don't want to read that on a phone. But once you do that, you can use all of this stuff on your phone. And the phone actually has almost better layout to do this. So the phone makes it super easy to do it.
Yeah, the mobile app it's much more, the way it's laid out. Like, I mean, you saw when we did the mobile check deposit, how everything was just like right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was easy to find. But yeah, you can enroll through the mobile app, or you can enroll even on the regular computer. Once you're enrolled, you can use computer or mobile app. Just use your same login that you created and it'll log you right in.
Terrific. Thank you. Okay, tell us more about how to do this.
All right. So we're going to agree to the terms and conditions. We have to, like I said, you can use either your email address or the mobile number. So with Zelle, one thing you should know, no matter where you're banking, you can only have your one phone number attached to your account. So if I, let's say, have Citibank and I signed up with Zelle using my cell phone number, but now I have a TD Bank account as well, I can't use that cell phone number to enroll with Zelle with TD Bank. I'll have to use my email address instead. Or if I have a different cell phone number, I can use. Because sometimes people like to transfer money to themselves using Zelle that have it in different banks, but you'll have to have both a mobile number for one and an email address for the other. So you can have both. So you'll choose either one. And we're going to continue next to sign up. So the email address and the phone number should automatically be in there because we entered it when we enrolled in online banking. So it'll be there. You're just choosing which one you want to use, phone number or email. And then we're going to consent to receiving text messages because it will text you saying, hey, your money was sent, or this person just deposited $100 into your account. And it's going to send you a verification code to confirm. Again, we want security. So we want to confirm this is you that is signing up for Zelle. So it will send your code to your email address or the cell phone, whichever you picked. You're going to enter it and we're going to verify. Now we're verified. It's confirming that this is the account we're using. In this option, it's a money market account, but it could be a checking, whichever one you have. So we're going to confirm that. And now we're enrolled using Zelle. So now that we're enrolled, let's actually send some money with Zelle.
You could send some to me.
You and me both. All right, so we're enrolled. Let's send money with Zelle. So we're logging into online banking. We're gonna go to transfers, send money with Zelle. Select the send option, because you can also request. Let's say you paid the bill yesterday, but everyone seems to have forgotten to give you the money for it. You can request it from them. So if you clicked request, requested this much from this person, the reason from dinner last night, it'll send them a message. Hey, this person's requesting. You can log on to the app and the request will be there, and you can actually send it right from online. So from the request, so you can like honor that request and send the money, allowed to send the money.
It's also through a text as well, right? Or through your app?
Yeah, like it'll text you saying someone has requested to send money. I have to double check whether it'll tell you through text. If you want to send it, press yes, or type yes. I have to confirm that. I'm not 100% sure, but for sure through online banking, you'll see the request there and you can honor the request from there.
So what's the potential for spam or fraud with this?
It's really just like I said, it's the security code you're using to get in. I mean, the thing is, a lot of people, there's a misconception with online banking. They say it's not secure and our information's out there. I've already shown you the security that we do. So the websites are encrypted. We use the same encryptions here in the store because we need internet connection in order to process the many transactions we do here for opening an account, sending a wire, even doing deposits. We have to have an internet connection. So we use those same encryptions that we use here online. And, people that do happen to get hacked, and it does happen, but it happens because they were scammed in a way where maybe they received an email, someone pretending to be TD Bank. Oh, someone's hacked your information or something. Click here so we can log in and verify you. That's how you're getting scammed. It's not really TD Bank. It's a fake website that once you put in your login credentials, they have it and they use it and they can then log into your stuff. So it's important.
Probably talk later or on maybe a whole program about
there is
those email scams, but do check the email addresses and the sources of all of these.
Email addresses.
And I would double back and say that you offer two-factor authentication on these accounts. I would also use that, meaning you've got to put in, they're gonna, if you have a cell phone, they're gonna send you a code. But if you're concerned about security, as I think we all should be, make sure your passwords are good and go use all of the features that make that possible and keep your eyes open.
Right. And the most important thing to remember, the bank, TD Bank, no bank will ever ask you to confirm your information, to log in here to confirm your information or your PIN number for your debit card. We will never ask for this information. So if somebody's asking you for your PIN number, for your online banking information, your username, password, hang up the phone right away because it's a scam. The bank will never ask you.
We have two relevant questions that have just come in. I knew this would happen today. How much information from the person you are transferring money to do you need? I know when I was transferring money to my daughter, I only needed to get her email address.
That's what we're going to actually go over now. This is part of the transferring money. So
and if you can, we could later answer a question how you transfer money to another bank. I think that may be a little bit more specific. So just putting those two out there.
So Zelle is transferring to another bank because, like I said, all the banks they use this service. So if my mother has Bank of America, I send her money and she sends me money, and it goes instantly, even though they're at another bank, and it'll go instantly. So she'll get the money. It's because they're enrolled in the Zelle service.
I think this might be, how do I transfer if I want to transfer from TD Bank to Wells Fargo, they're both accounts in my name. One is I'd be using an email address, one I'd be using a phone number, according to what you just said. Because I'm not sure which angle that questioner had, but you've answered it. All right.
Okay, perfect. So in order to send money, we have to add our contacts. So this way they're there for us as a list, and we pick whichever name we're looking to send money to. So we're going to add a contact. And then we're just entering their first name, last name, and you decide which information you're going to use. You have to I guess, know where they're enrolled. So you would ask them, are you enrolled with Zelle using your email or your mobile number? Or you can even use their account number if they're comfortable giving it to you, but you don't need to use the account number. And I actually find that when you use the account number, it takes longer for the money to come because it's doing it as an ACH through the account number, like a direct deposit through the account number, as opposed to when you're using the mobile number or the email, it sends the money via the debit card. So that's how you're actually able to get it instantly through the debit card. So we would, let's say this person decided to give us our email. We'll put the email and we're going to save them. So now that they're saved, so it reminds you, make sure you have the correct email or phone number because it's going to send it to whatever is enrolled with that number. Sometimes, you know, if you make an error putting in the phone number, maybe one number off, you want to make sure it's correct because it'll end up sending the money to somebody else. So let's proceed. Now, so we're here, we're sending money to so-and-so. We've added them as a contact. We're going to enter the amount, the delivery option, send today, because you can change the delivery times to have immediate or next day. Or
Anthony, you said something very quickly just there. You might send the money to somebody else. So you could also test it, particularly if it's a larger amount. You know.
Yeah, maybe send them like a penny.
Or penny.
Send them a dollar.
10 cents?
I don't see why not.
Okay, I've sent $1 just to confirm
$1.
that I've got the right account.
Let me know if you get this, and then you can send it, and there you go. And it's from the saving. Well, it's going to be a money market or checking. So, and then you would review the request. So everything kind of breaks down right here. You're sending it to this person. This is their email on the bottom. You're sending $100. And the reason, you can give a reason right here, from dinner last night, whatever it is, and then you send it. And the payment's on the way. And that person should pretty much immediately get a text message saying, so-and-so just sent you $100, and it should deposit right into their account. And it'll tell you when the money will be available. So I think with TD Bank, how they have it set up, they'll do immediate funding if you're sending to another TD Bank account. If it's sending to another bank, I think they do it the following business day. Every bank has it set up differently. I know other banks, they'll have an immediate, whoever they're banking with, wherever the money's going. But TD Bank likes to be a little more secure with these things, so that's why we'll hold.
Yeah, I'm glad you are. There are two more questions about Zelle. Is Zelle the only game in town? I think I've seen another one. Venmo, for example?
There are a bunch of them. You have Venmo, you have PayPal, you have Cash App. I don't recommend Cash App because I found that I've had a lot of customers come in with fraud with that, so I wouldn't use the Cash App. PayPal and Venmo are pretty big names, and they've been around for a few years. So, and they're trustworthy. A lot of
like MasterCard, or is it
I'm not 100% sure if it's backed by anyone, but I know PayPal has been in the game for a very long time. A lot of merchants use PayPal as a way to pay them. I know. I think
and you can do these kinds of transfers via PayPal as well. We are going to talk about automatic bill pay, and those are the two other key things. There was also someone said that there's a story on NPR a couple of years ago about money being sent to someone, and it may be a law that the unintended person has to return the money. Would you know that? I'll find an NPR article.
I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, I know when we're doing wire transfers, this is something, I mean, it's wire transfers is different. If they send it to the wrong person, we usually have to reach out to that person and get their permission to take it back on the account. But I mean, like I said, wire transfer could be something totally different. I would have to find out for sure.
Yeah, it's not like with the credit cards, you get there's some sort of dispute resolution. I'm sure there's one for Zelle, but that's something that I can find out too. I'll work with Anthony and we'll sort of post it in the notes.
Yeah, we always have some kind of dispute process for everything, or any kind of claim. You could put in a claim for, I think that's why we have regulations, and we have the FDIC insurance, because that's what the FDIC insurance is for. It covers us for these types of things, whether it's fraud or.
So these are the more casual payments. We wanted to make sure we covered setting up auto pay and electronic fund transfer.
Okay, so we covered Zelle. Now, let's get into bill pay, because that's something we all do is pay bills. And why not be able to do it all from your online banking? So we're going to go here. Oh no, this is for the mobile app. Sorry. No, I want to go back. Okay. There we go. How to enroll. There we go. How to enroll and set up bills for bill pay. So we're logging in. We're going to go on the top. It says bill pay. So they actually give you a little demo. And then when you actually enroll, you can actually watch a little video about it. But you can enroll right here. We're confirming our email address. Again, we have a online banking service agreement. All right, so Payment Center, you're in control. You can pay any company or any person within the US. So, you know, some people like to use this to actually pay their rent. Like maybe their landlord doesn't live in the same building or house that they live in, and he lives in another state or another town. You can send what the bill pay does is actually it sends a check on your behalf from your account and it mails it to them. So you're saving on stamps, you know, you're saving on having to order checks. This is all free to use. So we're gonna go ahead, add a company or a person. This is where it's gonna be right here. Enter the name. So we have basically a partnership with a lot of bill providers, so Con Edison, Verizon, AT&T, cable, you know, all the major companies that everyone uses, where we have their information already, and we're actually able to send your payment electronically rather than through a check. It'll send it electronically, so it gets there faster. So we would put that in. Let's say if it's AT&T, see how it pops up right there? We know their billing information. We know where to send the money. So you're going to enter, of course, your AT&T account number here. That's just on your bill. You're going to reconfirm the account number and the zip code. And you can nickname this, you know, cell phone, or, you know, you can categorize it, easy for you to find. And then you add the bill. So it'll confirm that it is added, and they'll send you a confirmation email to let you know that it was added. And we can go ahead and add another bill, or we can finish if we have no more. So the bills are right there. So like I said, this is if the biller isn't in our directory, and if it's a small company, something like that, or maybe you're paying a doctor's office, or so you can use this and set it up. So you would put, if it's a person, you would put their first and last name. Like I said, this is if you're going to pay your rent and you want to mail them the check every month. You would put their first and last name, the address, their phone number, email, and the email address is optional, and the cell phone number is optional. I think any phone number.
So just to
add the bill.
pitch for this, for those who don't already use a service like this, I'm a treasurer for a number of small organizations, as well as, you know, dealing with my own finances. You can pay anybody this way. And it does save on stamps. It makes sure that you can sort of sit down at one time and sort of say, pay this one, pay this one, pay this one. There's lots of double checks, you know, so that you're not paying the wrong amount, you know who you're paying to. It's a very organized way and secure way, and certainly efficient when you think about it, way of getting things paid. And you have a record, so that keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop. It really is. You pay all your bills and you do your banking all in one stop. So instead of having to go on the AT&T website and the Con Edison website and the Verizon website, you could do it all from the one website, TD Bank website, or your own bank's website. All banks offer the bill pay option. So let's add another bill, or we finish. So that's how you would add someone on that's how you enroll for the online bill pay.
If you were to use online bill pay, could you use, I'm thinking of Zelle. You can use it on a mobile app, or you can go into your online screen and pay someone via Zelle that way?
Yeah, like if you're just paying a person and you know that they're enrolled in Zelle, you can just pay them that way. A lot of people pay their rent with Zelle. They just send it right through Zelle because they know their landlord has it, and whoop, send it once a month,
Is it
and he gets
cash?
it right away.
So
It's what?
is it like sending cash or like sending cash?
It's exactly what you're sending. You're sending
Right.
them cash. Cash is available immediately right away in your account. And yeah. So now next one. Now we're going to actually set up a payment and auto pay with the bill pay. So if you want to set up auto pay that you don't even have to worry about it every month, you could just, it'll do it for you. So we're going to go into bill pay. Let's go into the payment center. This will show the bills that we have. Confirm we're paying from your checking account. We're going to put the amount and the date that we're looking for on the calendar. So we would choose our payment date that we want it to come out. And if you want rush delivery, if it's available, you can set that up too. Rush delivery gets them the payment that very day. If it's electronic, of course, because if it's sending it through a check, it won't be available. But there is a small fee that they charge. I think it's like $2 for the rush bill pay. But depending on the account type you have with us, sometimes it is waived. So you can rush deliver it, and it'll have everything confirmed for you right here. We're paying AT&T $20. Deliver it by this date, and then we just make that payment. And it'll tell you it's going to deliver by May 13th. Payment total and submit payment. So we've just paid a bill. And it gives you actually a confirmation number too that you can save. Should anything arise that they don't receive the payment or it's late or something, you have a confirmation number so that we can look into it.
And that confirmation number is also evident electronically, like it stays in a record, like part of your statement. Okay.
Yep. Now we're going to talk about auto pay. So we're going to find our bill right here.
Substantial topic we can get to, unless folks are give us a specific one. So before, as Anthony talks about auto pay, if there's a specific aspect like getting access to your statements or something like that, please send it into chat. Go for it, Anthony.
Okay, so auto pay. There's a button right here, auto pay. And it just tells you about auto pay, the benefit of it, and the button says set up auto pay. So it's going to be from your checking, the amount you want to send every month, what the first delivery date, so the first day you want this auto pay to start, the frequency, if you want it monthly, if it's a semi-annual things, our car insurance premiums are about every 6 months, so you could send it like that. And the duration until I stop it, or you can set a date, that you want the auto pay to stop, or it's whenever you decide to cancel it. And you can have email notifications sent to you too, if you want, when the payment is pending or if the payment was sent. And we start sending payments. And right here, it gives you the record. So there we go.
Do vendors appreciate getting this? Is there any problem with how they receive these?
I think they love it because it gets to them electronically. Electronically is always the easiest way to receive a payment, as opposed to, you get a check, they have to deposit the check, wait for the check to clear out of your account, or let's say if the check bounces. At least with the electronic, it comes out of the account right away. So now it's out of your account. You don't have to worry about it. It's out of sight, out of mind. And they get it faster too. So I think the vendors actually love the online bill pay because it's saving on paper also.
And keep in mind that you can set up, my experience is you can always select to get all of the email notifications and everything else until you're confident you know how this works. And then once you get familiar with it, you can always just go into your account to find things. Is there,
right.
So one of the last things I want you to talk about is like how you even deal with reconciling your account, because for me, I know, and for many, it's like when you start doing this, your checkbook register feels redundant. So how do you think about your checkbook? How to sort of balance your checkbook going forward?
Well, you can actually view all your account activity right from online banking. I mean, once you're in the home page, let me see if I can bring up the home page. Let's just bring this up, for example. So here's our home page. If you could simply just click on your checking account itself, right here, and it'll actually give you all your transactions by date, amount, who the payment was for, if it was withdrawal, deposit, payment, it's all there. You got your balances, today's beginning balance, your pending transactions. From here, you can actually get your statements too. You can actually pull 7 years worth of statements from here. So if you click on your checking account, you'll see I won't be able to see it from here, but there's tabs, and there'll be a tab that says statements. You click that and you have 7 years worth of statements available for download.
Which is the 7 years that we're required to maintain for tax purposes, right? Okay. Thank you for doing that one.
Yep.
Okay. And do you actually reconcile online?
What do you mean?
So like I use Quicken to, reconcile my accounts.
Oh, myself personally? No, I mean, I always view activity online, and I make sure that, everything is when it came out when it's supposed to. But I don't use like check registers or anything like that myself. I use the mobile app. So it's everywhere I go, I have my banking records right with me.
Maybe it's a generational difference, but I mean, I grew up reconciling a checkbook. And so I still go on and look at the statement and sort of follow the little reconciliation guidelines that are in the back of the statement.
Yeah.
It's just
me personally, I don't.
It's just habit.
Yeah, it's what you're brought up on. That's what you know.
Then that's what makes me feel confident about how this whole system is working. So is there anything that we can't do online? We can look at our statements, we can pay our bills, we can deposit money. If someone mails me a check, I can do the mobile thing. Transfer funds. I can send funds to my kids. Is there anything
you can't do? You can't send wire transfers. And with this bank, I know other banks you can do wire transfers online. But here particularly, we don't do online wire transfers. We're very we like to make things as secure as possible, and we only Citibank only likes to take risks they can understand, and so to them, I guess wires online banking was too risky for them to have, so they'd rather just not have it. But I know other banks that do it. I have it with Citibank. I used to work for Citibank, so I still have the account with them too. But the option's there for online for the wire transfers.
You're familiar with those? Are there any fees associated with any of this online banking?
What I've showed you? No.
Right. So this is all free.
Yeah, this is all comes with your account.
It certainly makes things easier, I think, for the banks. So I just want to make sure it also makes it easier for consumers.
It does. Yeah, because we like customers to be able to self-serve. Of course, we love to be here to help you in any way we can, but to be able to do it yourself too is just as good, because you have things going on throughout your day. Do you want to stand online on the teller for 20 minutes just to deposit a check when you could do it right from the comfort of your own home, or calling a bunch of times just so you can get your balance? Because I get those every day. I get people calling every day just for their balance, and it's so simple that they can get it themselves. Save them time and frustration. Like, no one's answering the phone.
But they may not have a computer, so there's also that.
Right.
Maybe if they have a phone.
If you don't have a computer, obviously, that's like I said. That's why we're here. For those that aren't able to or don't want to, some people just love that personal feel. They just want to come in the bank, just talk to whoever's taking their transaction.
So I have a question for you. So when we go into the bank these days, got to have a mask. There's probably a station for sanitation and whatever else, and keep 6 feet.
So we have a number of things in place. We have sanitizing stations at the entrances. All employees have to wear a mask. We have plexiglass at the desks, as long as at the teller stations as well. We have the 6 feet social distancing stickers set up for the teller line. We actually have a check-in process that we have. You have to actually check in into our queue before you can actually come inside. And once it's your turn, you'll get a notification via text message, or if you don't have, we can just call you, letting you know, hey, it's your turn to come inside. And yeah.
I have to say, going into the bank these days has been a novelty. The one thing I can't do, and it's been pleasant in that there's just so much service available to try to navigate the whole pandemic. I can't get cash, right? I have to go to the ATM or to the teller to get cash if that's
right.
what I want. That's the one thing I can't do. I'm going to get
Well,
the
we have the drive-through service also. Like, yeah, so you can get your cash from the drive-through. If you don't want to actually come inside, you could stay in your car and you can
We're
get the cash
signing
that way.
all those disclosures. What do we, so just in your short form, because there's a whole lot of them in the mobile banking registration, we're basically saying we're not going to hold you liable for what?
Well, no, there's the disclosure to the out of band one you saw. That was to allow you to receive the text message to
Right.
confirm your identity with the code. There was the e-sign one because we do have e-sign. So you can actually open additional accounts if you want online as well. If you have a checking account, but you know what, I'm getting a nice check coming in, I'm going to open up a savings account. You can do that right from online. And you're e-signing, you're giving an electronic signature. So that basically you're agreeing to allow that.
Okay. I mean, I've always want people to be aware that we're often clicking through a lot of these disclosures and agreements.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth it, particularly if you're in front of a computer versus looking at it on a small screen, to just
Right.
be aware of what you're actually approving.
Yeah. And some of the other things you can do that we didn't get to cover, we have the part of the bill pay service where there's something called e-bills, where we can actually link your bill to show up on online banking. You'll get an email from us saying, hey, your bill is available now. You can go log on to online banking and you'll get the actual PDF copy of the bill. Like, so if it's Con Ed or AT&T, your bill will actually be right there on our online banking site. And it knows when the payment is due. And it'll act, what?
You keep the bills?
They stay there.
The PDFs?
They stay there you can view previous month's bills on there. So they stay there. So it's saving you on paper now. You don't have to have the coming in the mail. And a lot of times people are skeptical of the mail now too. People are stealing things out of the mail. It's just another safety feature. So now you don't have that sensitive information being passed through the mail. It comes electronically right to you.
When you mentioned that, and thank you, that was exactly the point I wanted us to kind of close on. So we don't have checks coming in our mailboxes. Someone else can pick them up. We don't have, bills or other personal information, that's coming in that way. We can navigate it here. I do think that e-bill feature is a lovely thing because it brings all of this stuff together.
Well, that's why I was saying it's a one-stop shop. It really is.
Yeah, kudos. I actually think that's actually pretty amazing. I know there's always a concern that among the Senior Law Day Collaborative that older adults might be getting their money taken from them. There could be fraud and elder abuse. So having tools like these seems like a way for an older adult to manage these issues. Of course, someone could take your passwords. So again, making sure you have password security, you keep your passwords tucked away someplace securely and appropriate. Always be ready to change your password if you think that's been taken from you in some way.
Right.
If you feel
we do recommend changing your password once every 6 months.
Once every 6 months. Okay.
Yeah.
For banking, I think that makes a lot of sense. Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm glad you offered that. So Anthony, I'm going to have to get us to start to wrap it up. I actually wanted to do the sweep up at the end with
yeah. I want to give everyone the website so they can do this at home. They can use these tutorials. Where would I put that, in the chat?
I've been putting it in the chat, but let me do it again. academy.td.com.
Yes.
And this program will be available, and you'll have that. There are a few other websites that I want folks to know about. I want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Okay, someone wants to know if you put for deposit only, no, we already got that one. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
Let me remove this lovely green color schemed presentation and share my presentation.
I'll stop the share.
Here. All right. So there goes our seniorlawday.info website. So this program is going to be posted onto this 2020 webinars page. We put the most recent at the top, and we always put any presentation materials underneath. Anthony, heads up, I need your presentation deck, if you have one there. But what I'd like to show you is just very briefly, let me go back here, resources for the super savvy, because you guys are doing the right thing right now in terms of getting educated about how to work with these different tools. Financial literacy is always a concern. We have digital literacy needs and changing financial laws and processes. So we all have to stay alert and awake to what's changing. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is an amazing resource. I want to quickly just show a page from there. The Federal Trade Commission is an important source for information on scams, which we were talking about earlier. Financial Regulatory Authority is a place where you complain if you think that you're, as an investor, you're being scammed in some way. So if your retirement account or something fishy is going on, that's where you go. And the Senior Medicare Patrol is another resource I want to call out. So Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the same way we just saw really good, clear consumer education and information on finance, they also have it on all of these core topics. So everything from auto loans to student loans and planning for retirement as a key issue. Whoops. There we go. The site is laid out very, very cleanly. I think kind of like what TD Bank was showing. It's just not overwhelming, but there is a lot of information in there. So I've moused over for this image the consumer tools section. You could always go on a deep dive and read everything at the site. It's fascinating, actually. But the consumer tools is where I want you to really explore. And also, that arrow's in the wrong place on the right-hand side. Ask CFPB. They have a wonderful Ask Us box and lots of anticipated questions that can be very helpful. The Federal Trade Commission. We talked about scams. If you want to know what scams are coming down, please sign up for their email updates. You see the email address right there. They come out, they're always informative. You can browse them by topic, and I just hold my head in my hands every time I get this email because I can't believe some of the things people are doing. The Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, they have a helpline. So if you feel that you have had someone, some financial advisor or a family member, messing with your accounts, or you feel that an account is not being managed appropriately, call them. They are very helpful. Also, if Medicare scams and Medicare fraud is something that we're always concerned about in the fall, which is the Medicare open enrollment period. Please, if you see something fishy, go call these people and confirm whether or not this is something really on the up and up. All right, so those are a couple of sites that I just wanted to flag. That's going to be in the presentation deck at the end. I could have given you about 5 more, but I wanted you to walk away with 4 solid ones. And also with seniorlawday.info, there's that Ask Us button, and you can ask your question. Any follow-up from here or anything that comes up later, you can certainly come to us and come to our September 24th one-to-one consultation program. We have sponsors that make this work possible. They're listed on our website. I've got a brief list of them here. If these people weren't there, we couldn't do all these programs, both the members of the collaborative and the people who give us some funding so that we can promote the availability of all this great content. And we will be doing in-person events soon. If you want to learn about a sponsor, just come to our website. Anthony, I just want to say thank you. This was really
you're welcome. Thank you for having me. I had so much fun today.
Terrific. Oh, I didn't stop sharing here. Let me stop sharing. Okay. That was really great. Exactly what I hoped we could offer today.